everyone, welcome back to No Sugar with Everything Krause. No sugare.
No suganista, no sugar mama.
Yeah.
Can't tell if I like it that way better.
What? Okay.
No sugar mama, no suganista. I don't even know the order of it. Welcome back to No Sugare, No Suganista, No Sugar Mama.
I couldn't think of the no sugare. I don't even know what we say. Like if someone was like, "What are you saying?"
We basically just created our own language.
Yeah, and like don't ask me to pronounce it slowly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fast every time because I have no idea what's coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Sis, welcome back from the great state of Florida.
Yes.
You were just in Key West, correct?
Yes, Key West, Florida. I was there for the weekend for my friend from one of my good friends from college, her bachelorette. So that was a crazy weekend, which is like,
Was it? Like, did you let loose a bit this weekend?
yes. But I was saying to Dad, like he picks me up from the train station. In college, it used to be like, oh, like I get drunk, and then once I feel myself getting drunk, like I want to get more drunk because that was the college aspect. I was a way different person then. And now it's like, okay, I feel myself drunk, and then I'm like, I notice it, and I'm in too much of control, or as Dad put it, I'm too aware of how I'm feeling that I like pump the brakes.
Yeah.
So like it was good because I had fun. Like I let loose. I would say like Friday night was like my more like drunky night. I was literally just like taking tequila shots because
Good.
because I literally was like, first of all, I don't need these like whole drinks. Like the drinks were just making me like full. Even like the
that's what
tequila
makes you feel
sodas.
sick. Like that's
and
why I
was
feel like when you do throw up when you're drinking, like you're throwing up like all that seltzer that you're drinking.
All
with
that
it, like,
liquid,
all of that.
exactly. And I was like, I just don't want like full drinks because one tequila soda is like as much as you try and make it good, like chances are it's not gonna be good.
It's literally the worst drink ever.
And I'm like, okay, so they're putting a shot of tequila in water. Like I'd rather just like take shots and like drink water in between, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like kind of my mindset, which sounds crazy. I know that sounds crazy.
No, I think that's smarter though.
But it was like very like chill and controlled. And then like every once in a while when like people were getting more drinks, I was like, yeah, I'll like take a shot. And half the time people were like, yeah, let's take shots. So like it was like I was taking a shot and then not getting another drink. Like that was my drink. And they were spaced out. But yeah, so that was like good because I feel like that was like my drunkest night, but I was still in control.
Good.
But it's just like wild to me, like how different I am from college. And I love being around those girls. Like it was my girl group from college and then her friends as well from high school, like family friends, stuff like that. So it was a really good group of girls. And my favorite part was just being like back with the girls from college. Like I call them the girls. That's like what we call each other.
Yeah.
But I really like, I wish I could just like do that more in a sense of like not like always going out.
Yeah.
Not as like a diss on anyone. It's just like
That was
even they know that. Like
yeah.
that's just like not my vibe as much. But yeah, it's a bachelorette. Like of course we're gonna like go out and I'm totally fine with that. But like I'm good now for like a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you have changed a lot since college. Like that's just not particularly how you have your fun anymore. And that's completely okay. Like I understand when people do have their fun that way. It's like we all have differences.
Well,
but
even like for them, like they were like, I haven't like gone out like 3 nights in a row in literally so long, like since college. So it's not like they're like these crazy party animals that are like blackout every weekend. But even like the sense of, and I feel like maybe where they live also helps them. Like they're all either in Arlington, right outside of DC, or Philly. So they're like in cities where people like go out to dinner more and like get drinks, and, like go to bars. And I'm just kind of removed from that. Yeah. But I'm okay with being removed from it. Yeah. You know, like there's a part of me that misses sometimes just, oh, let's like go get dinner like with friends. But then I just think about like how bad alcohol is for you, and it's so hard for me sometimes.
So hard. Wait, like, this was literally a sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, go. Sorry.
This was literally a conversation because I went out Friday night for Galentine's, like with a ton of girls who graduated already, and I love how they include me. One, it's like so sweet that they do, and I love those girls so much. And I was talking to my friend, and he was like, "Why don't you go out tonight? Why don't you get a drink? Like, have some fun?" And I was like, I really could, but this just doesn't feel like one of those moments that, you know, if I were going out to like the Ave, which was like a big rave concert, like, okay, I'll drink for that and I'll have some fun. But like, it's so hard for me to get past how bad alcohol is for me. Like I was like, why am I going to go to this Galentine's party that I love the girls anyway. I will have so much fun sober because I do love them so much that I need to like have a drink there. And it's like not that I'm like drinking to get drunk, but like if I'm gonna drink, like I'm not gonna just like have one drink and be like, oh, done for the night. Like then why did I even have the alcohol?
Exactly, because
like,
then it's just not, it doesn't feel worth it. Like,
so
it's still detrimental, you know?
I can't get past that point with alcohol. It's really hard for me. And I wish sometimes that I could overlook it, but I'm also very happy that I don't because it's so easy to be disciplined with it. Like I know. I really don't care to drink. That's just plain. But when Kateri and I were in Falmouth, we had a glass of wine at dinner and that was very enjoyable to me.
It was really enjoyable. Like we both were like, wait, like I want that. Like that's what I feel like is good about the relationship that we kind of are fostering with it. It's almost like in that moment we both wanted it. It wasn't like I was like, oh please as well, and then you were forcing down a glass of wine. It was like, let's just have this to enjoy our dinner. We were already having like a good dinner together, so why not just like enjoy a nice glass of red wine? But like we would have still had the same dinner if we didn't have that, and I think we both know that. Like it wasn't like we were dependent on like getting a little wine buzz
we had no idea. It completely caught me off guard that we got a glass of wine that dinner, but it was so fun and it was so in the moment, and that's what I like. Like if I want it in the moment, sure, I'm gonna have it. I'm not gonna be crazy restrictive. That's how I'm trying to foster my relationship with everything. Honestly, like if I'm out and you know I see my friends eating fries and all of a sudden I'm really craving fries, I'm just gonna do it. Like that's what I'm trying to get to. Everything in moderation. Everything in moderation.
I mean, like literally me this weekend, the one day we were pretty much like out, like I mean if anyone's been to Key West, Duval Street, it's just like bars everywhere, restaurants, like it's just one big like strip. So we were just like eating, like they were ordering fries and like mozzarella sticks for the table, and I'm like, okay, well I'm drinking excuse me, there's the drinking voice. Like I'm drinking, okay, like I'm gonna eat some fries, and like yes, in the back of my mind I'm like, oh, like this is really not what I want to be putting in my body, but like also at the same time they do look good. I'm gonna have some, and I know that as soon as I get back from vacay, I'm gonna detox. Like I trust my body to rebound, and if you don't have that balance, it's almost like if I didn't eat during the day, maybe I would have gone home and like binged on all the random junk snacks that were like at the house, and I would rather eat a fry than Doritos and like the random chips that were there, you know? So it's like finding the balance between like letting yourself just enjoy life and not worrying so much. And then, I mean, we've talked about that before. Like sometimes when I feel like you don't worry about what you're putting in your body, it doesn't like affect you the same.
It does.
Like I know you're still eating the food and you're still drinking it, but how you digest it and process it is just like a little different.
I've actually noticed within, not that I've struggled with it, but I've struggled with this happy medium balance recently, because at school it's very easy for me to be so disciplined that when I slip up, I start to view it very negatively. And I've noticed within the past 2 weeks, like even just, especially with my night classes, like I'll feel so guilty for eating so late at night, but like I have class till 10.
Yeah, like what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, and I'll put like peanut butter. Like, I put like so much peanut butter on my yogurt bowls and like all that because I'm so hungry from the day.
Yeah.
And then I process it so badly because I have such a negative view of it. Whereas like if I ate that at a normal time, like at dinner, I feel like I'd be like, oh, like that's fine.
You wouldn't think anything of it. Yeah. It's just because it's like after 10 and you're like.
So I've been struggling with that, and especially like I said, I'm so disciplined at school. It's so easy for me to be disciplined here with my diet that when I go home on Sundays and I want a piece of sourdough, it's like, why didn't I eat carbs for 3 weeks straight at school? And now I want sourdough at home. And it's like, oh, I'm like thinking about that. I'm eating it and then I process it differently. So I'm really trying to work on that right now, honestly. Yeah. That's a side note. No, this isn't even the episode, but that was a whole tangent. We're supposed to be talking about Key West.
It's all a balancing act. And that's really what I was just trying to remind myself of this past weekend of like, you're allowed to be here and enjoy the time with the girls. And yes, you don't love going out and spending all day at bars all the time. Like it's the company that matters to me, and like getting to be with them and just talk to them and update each other on our lives and just like feel connected with them again in person, because they aren't near me at home. So being able to connect with them in person versus like social media or text messages is just a lot better. Yeah. So that's just what I was reminding myself of. And overall, it was a great weekend. I'm happy, like got home safe and sound. Everything went very smoothly. Like we were talking about, like nothing bad happened. No one got hurt. Like it was a great weekend.
No drama.
Yeah, no drama literally at all. And it's crazy because when we were leaving on Sunday, it was beautiful weather all weekend, and then it was like raining on Sunday. And we were like, oh, hope we like get out on time. And then the one girl just sent a news article about tornadoes in the Keys.
Oh my
that
God.
were happening, like destroying homes. I'm like, thank God we got out when we did, because
Yeah.
it's President's Day, so some people had off. So like we could have pushed it to Monday, but thank goodness we didn't.
Yeah. Oh
and
my
I think the
gosh.
original plan was going to be till Monday, but the Airbnb like couldn't have us. So
Oh,
I'm
really?
like,
Oh, yeah. I'm sure maybe like someone else already had booked
yeah, like
or.
God works in funny ways, because we were not meant to be there on Monday. Like that would have been awful.
Yeah. No, you were not.
If we were like trying to get out of there today. I'm sure like everyone's trying to get out of there.
Everyone
today.
is. That'd actually be a nightmare because like President's Day, although people have off, it's like the day they travel home.
They travel,
so they don't have to like ruin their Sunday.
Exactly. I know. So very just happy to be home safe and sound. And then she sent that article and I was like, yeah. Thank you, Lord. Like I literally said, thank you, God, as soon as I got home last night. Like I was like in bed. I'm like, thank you, God. I made it home very safe and sound, because that's what I kept praying to him before. I was like, just like keep me safe, keep everyone safe. Like please keep me in control, keep me in check. Like,
well, it is scary going.
Yeah,
it is scary going into not even bachelorettes. Like even when I go out on a weekend, like keep everyone safe tonight, God, please, because like you never know what can happen.
Once you get drunk, like you don't know what control is almost. Like it's a very like hard thing that you got to dig for.
Yeah.
So like you might not even realize that you're getting super drunk, and then you're really drunk, and that's when stupid stuff happens.
Yeah. So I am happy that you all returned home safely.
Exactly.
That's the best part of it all.
If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let Jacob Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio, or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call Jacob Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
So today's episode, we actually brainstormed this at an event, well, post-event. So I had an event the other week, and I was there for really one person to talk to, and Gatiri was there kind of as my plus one. So we both did not know a lot of people at this event, and we had this realization after just about how successful it was, with us both going into it, not nervous, but more of like, what's this going to be like? We really don't know anyone. And we left and we just were like, wow, we really turned it on there. Like we walked into that event, we made our presence known, we were loved by everyone, honestly, and we left confident and feeling good, and it was like, all right, job done.
There is 100% something to be said about that, because it's the idea of being able to go into situations, no matter what they are. It could be networking at a job career event, it could be networking for your job, or just at a random event where you just don't know anyone, a college party. Like there's all these situations that I feel like if you can almost turn it on, like quote unquote, because that's like kind of what we say, and be this like big presence, or the person that can talk to anyone and kind of feel, maybe you don't feel as confident, but like you're giving off this confidence in all of your conversations. Like people will leave there remembering you, and you will leave there being like, I did what I needed to do. I know people will now know Everything Krause, and boom, like in the type of space that we are in, I feel like that is very important for us, of like wanting to grow our names as well. But I just think it's a good like attribute to have, to be able to go through life like almost like you walk in the room and you command the room. And maybe not at first, but by the time you leave, like boom, eyes on you.
Yeah.
In a sense.
People are thinking about the conversation they had with you.
Yeah.
You
and
stand out.
Yeah, like even it's like, okay, I might not be like the most successful in the room, or like the prettiest in the room, like all these things, but I want to stand out in the way I carry myself and in the conversations I have. And that to me is very important, no matter who it is that I'm meeting or talking to. Even when I go to Tyler's house, and I'm even just with his parents, like when I was in Costa Rica with them, like I wanted to be able to like hold conversations with them and let them in like on things in my life and just feel like comfortable with them, right? Like I don't want to be this like shy little girl because it's his parents. I'm still going to be myself and talk to them like I would talk to other people as well.
Yeah.
Or like when I go to family parties, like that's how I want to feel.
It's almost like it's the art of socializing, honestly, because we need to socialize in every situation, whether it be a networking event, or you're meeting your boyfriend's parents, or you're going on a bachelorette trip and you're going to be with girls that you don't know, and you need to be able to hold a conversation. That is so important. And as funny as that sounds, we're really losing that in today's world. Like,
Well,
people
that's what I was about
people
to
are not
say.
able to hold conversations.
Yeah, that is 100%. And maybe that's why this is even a relevant topic these days, is because ask even the older generations, ask our parents, like their first instinct is to pick up the phone and call someone.
Yeah.
Our first instinct is to pick up our phone and text someone, send an email, send a message. Like I force myself to pick up the phone and call sometimes. And then the call makes it so much easier and better. And I'm like, why didn't I just call in the first place? Like, I'm so happy I did that. But it's truly because we're so used to like quick messages, quick interactions, social media, everything is on our phones, and we barely have to communicate. Like, you could retype a text message 47 times. If you're on the phone, you can't do that. You know?
Exactly.
Let's just like go ahead and describe what we meant by like turning it on. In any situation that we go into, and I feel like we're saying we a lot because a lot of times it's me and you together, and we're just like a power duo when we're together.
Yeah, we really are. We're unstoppable.
Like, it's crazy. No matter how much we're dreading it or like nervous because we don't know anyone, or just like, oh, I don't feel like interacting with anyone right now. No matter what, no matter who we're in a conversation with, we just have this ability to engage in the conversation in a way that I think most people wouldn't, and ask questions, be able to answer questions that are being asked to us like with passion and confidence behind it. It's not just like a one-sided conversation. Like, we're engaging with them just as much as they're engaging with us, and even if they're maybe a little more shy, like then we're pulling things out of them more. Almost. I don't know if that describes it good, but I think it's this like ability to be able to like, I might not want to be here, but boom, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna give it my all.
Yeah. And it's almost like every conversation we have, we make comfortable for us and for the other person. Like, it's a very good exchange of words. It's not, we'll crack some laughs, we'll be able to have like easy back and forth, instead of being the side of the generation where like an adult is interviewing us, and it's extremely hard to conduct an interview when the person you're interviewing is like a brick wall. We will never be that, and they appreciate that so much because it's so easy to bounce off each other when we create like such a light and airy environment, but so at the same time intense and serious conversation and good conversation. And that's hard to do. It's hard. I don't know, like that Kateri and I, we bring it up because we were not born with that ability. I think we've definitely worked on it, and there's things in our life that have allowed this to be how we act in situations. And that's kind of why we wanted to talk about it, because it's so important to be able to be social and have a social, like, just socialize. It's the art of socializing, as simple as that sounds. And this isn't an ego boost. Like, I know that kind of sounds like it.
I know, like, it might sound like we're just hyping ourselves up, but I think it's important to note what we mean, because we truly do embody it, and we feel how important it is when we leave situations.
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, like the amount of times people have like gone up to our mom if she's there as well, and it's like, wow, your kids are really amazing. And it's not like we're all flying to the moon. Like, we're just all captivating people in a sense of how we can hold conversations with people and engage them. And like you said, make it a comfortable conversation. If you can make people feel like that, they will think so highly of you, and then you don't know where that could lead. Next time you see them, they could introduce you to a person that you've been like dying to meet, or you really could network with, and boom, grow your business or get another job opportunity. Like, all of that is so important in this world, because you have to be able to have connections with people. You have to. Like, that is what I'm learning as I'm getting older too, is the connections and the network that you grow is so crucial, because you never know when you're gonna need people.
That's honestly exactly what I was gonna say. Even if it's in a college frat party, whatever it may be, you never know the connection that you could build. And I think the biggest thing I've taken away from how successful Kateri and I have been at this is the opportunity that has come from it. And the network, like Kateri just said, the network is so important, and the amount of texts that we've got, because we're now on people's mind. So when they meet someone, like, we may be their first thought, because they were like, wow, they conducted themselves really good, they'll be perfect to interview with this person. So it's really just about holding, like, yes, don't care what other people think of you, but in a professional setting, in the way that you conduct yourself, in the overall like image of you, you should be making a mark. on everyone. You should walk into that college party and you should be known. Like that's what Kateri and I strive for. Every room we walk into, we command, even if it's my college classroom.
Exactly. And I think a lot of that comes with, and we've talked about confidence in the past, of not really worrying about how other people may perceive us. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It's a big battle it's not like a natural thing to not care about other people's opinions. But I think if you just remind yourself that, one, there's a chance you'll never see any of these people again, and two, you're just confident in yourself and who you are, you'll automatically bring that into the environment, and people feed off that energy. People, whether you think that or not, like, that energy will captivate the room and it will take over the room.
Yeah.
Because that's just like a better way to be. So it's going to knock out like any of those negative thoughts or emotions that you may be feeling. So I do think that's important, because perception it can kind of be like a little confidence or like ego killer. Like, you don't feel as good if you're always worrying about other people's perception of you. And I think that's what also helps us in these situations of being like, I could never see this person again. And at the same time, at the end of the day, I know who I am. So if it doesn't work out with this person, we weren't meant to work out. Like, this business transaction wasn't meant to be in some way, shape, or form.
That's spot on. I would say that's what kills people's ability to socialize. Like, that's where the root problem is that they're not confident enough in themselves, that when they do go into these situations, they're not even confident in their ability to hold a conversation, because they're not even confident in themselves in general. So like, imagine walking into a room not thinking you're the best, not thinking you're the shit, not thinking you can hold all these conversations, and then walking into a conversation and trying to demand that conversation.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that if you're feeling like you're not able to do it? Like, you already lost the battle before you even walked in.
No, literally.
So,
like, I just eat.
I just eat.
I think I need to keep that
today,
in.
Junior.
I think I literally need to keep that in. That was like so funny. I was so ready to answer you. Wow, that was funny. Anyway, you saying all that just reminds me of, like, for example, when I'm teaching a class, if I don't walk into that room commanding the class to listen to me and pay attention to my words and trust what I'm doing, I would be a really bad teacher.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be a good instructor, and I probably wouldn't want to pursue a career in fitness.
Yeah.
Like, it's not how it works. Like, I have to walk into the room and command that I know what I'm doing and I belong there. And people feel that. They sense that energy from me, and I know that. And it's very important to bring into any room that you walk into. So this is kind of random, but at the same time, a way you can maybe practice this and just getting more comfortable with having random conversations with random people is, if you're at like a coffee shop, for example, and you're waiting to get your coffee, chances are there's someone else standing next to you waiting to get their coffee. Like, try and spark a conversation with them. Ask them, hey, what did you order? Like, what coffee did you order? I'm always trying to try new coffee orders. Just ask them that. You never know where that could lead. The barista, if she's standing there behind the cashier and like grabbing things for you, just like ask her how her day's going. And people might just take that as like, oh, this person's being nice and engaging in conversation. But in your mind, you're just trying to practice starting conversations with people out of thin air.
Yeah.
So that's just a way you could do it. You could even do it with like your waitress, your waiter, at like rest stops. I don't know. I'm just thinking of in random moments when you literally might not ever see that person ever again, and the chances are very high you'll never see them again. It's just like, whatever. If the conversation's so weird and you get in your car, you're like, why the heck did I do that? Who cares? Laugh about it and move on. But it's just a good way to like get you out of your shell.
As simple as that seems, that is so fundamental though, because like you said, like, you may get in the car and be like, that was the worst conversation ever. Okay, well, at least you tried. And now next time,
many times I do that.
Yeah, so many times. But I know going into the next situation, I'm going to feel better going into it, because it's like, well, that first time was very uncomfortable. And I could tell when I got in the car, because I felt very uncomfortable about the conversation I just had. But now that I've done it, it's only going to get easier to do. So it's like, this is a situation I feel like socializing has become very uncomfortable for people. It's sort of something that you have to force yourself to do until you're confident enough in your ability to do it, so that every time you go into an interview, you go into an event, you know you can have that conversation. Like, the reason that Kateri and I can kind of do it so easily and so swiftly now is because we've had to do it so much. Joseph's wedding, this event that we just went to, our Christmas Eve party, like even down to those basics, like we are the host and we've had to practice socializing and holding conversations that now every time I meet, like you met Tyler's family, like how easy was that going into it? Because you knew that you'd be fine. You showed up for yourself.
Exactly. I'm just a confident person too. So like it all comes back down to the confidence of like, I know who I am and I like myself. Tyler likes me. So I think they'll like me too.
Yeah, exactly. But I do like
Fingers crossed.
I think they do. Kateri, that was a great point about the coffee shop because it's just little instances like those of social interaction that are just going to help you so much in this. I know it sounds so silly, but they really make a difference. Like I thrive off those conversations. I have many, which I realize now is I actually have many, many random conversations a day. I've talked to random professors throughout, like in the business school. I'll talk to the crosswalk lady when I'm going like crossing the street. Like I just have so many random conversations, and I'm realizing it's because I've become so used to that, and I've become so used to socializing and networking that it's like, okay, well this is easy now. So
yeah, it's like building a habit. You are now in the habit and comfortable with talking to people, even if it's for 0.2 seconds, just saying hello to the crossing walk lady. And I think that's also really important to have like those random socializations because so many of us like work from home. You might not be on work calls every day, and we like live behind these phones, we live behind the computers, and it's scary. We're kind of getting put into like a bubble where if you don't force yourself to step outside of it and put yourself in those random situations, you won't ever be, because you can go stand at a coffee shop and scroll on your phone while you wait for your coffee to be ready and then literally not talk to a single soul other than ordering your coffee.
Yeah.
And all she said was like cash or credit and boom.
Literally.
You know, like there could be no socialization that happens there. The difference that it could make if you just put yourself out of your comfort zone and like really just try, it could change the rest of your life. It really could.
I also want to add that every single person that we view as successful has this skill, has this attribute to them. Joseph, he was just in Deer Valley skiing, and if any of you know, like Deer Valley is definitely a more luxurious resort. It's I would say attracts a wealthier crowd, and Joseph being there with his wife texted in our sibling chat one day and was like, I've been on the chairlift, and every single time I've gotten on the chairlift I've been engrossed in conversation for the entire time. And he was like, it's just such a difference to see, you know, I can tell that I'm surrounded by a wealthier crowd, and it's interesting to notice that when I get on the chairlift, they immediately strike a conversation. Who can I talk to? Who can I find out? Like, and I was like, that's so true. Like the wealthy and successful people network. They get to know everyone. They have that ability. And that's why I emphasize that it's so important, because it really is a trait to have if you want to be successful. It's the way of the world. The only way to get anywhere in life is by communicating with others.
Yeah, I do feel like it's just so important. I don't feel it, like I know how important it is. I've seen it with Joseph, especially like seeing how important it is for him to be able to have those little conversations and what that could do for him.
Yeah.
So it's just like, as Will said, it's a great thing to have, which is of course why we want to talk about it. And this isn't like just us hyping ourselves up. It's almost just us addressing what we think is very important for our listeners to start doing and to grow if you're not already doing this.
Yeah, like you may be amazing at this. Good for you. I'm so happy you are.
Yes,
but like
that
if you aren't,
awesome.
let's work on this.
And that's fine. If you want to freaking give us a call and practice getting to know us, like, DM us. I'll send you my phone number.
Ring our line. I also just want to add one, it's kind of a random point, but it's super present in our lives, and I feel like a lot of us miss out on stuff that we truly do want because we're afraid to speak up because we can't socialize. So for example, if you ever go to the nail salon and you hate your nails and you are petrified to say something to the nail lady because you're just scared to say something and you're scared of her, it's like, okay, well now you left and you just paid for nails that you don't even like,
that you
and
hate.
I'm using that as an example because I feel like there's so many times in our life where we don't get what we want because we are scared to speak up. Like the restaurant messed up your pizza, go back in and tell them they messed up your pizza. But we're so scared of our own shadow that we end up leaving with stuff that we don't want and that we paid for. It's so comical to me, and I'm like, wait, it's literally a result of lack of the ability to socialize.
Yeah, that's honestly a good point. And I feel like the nail salon could be another great place to practice, because like even when I'm in there, I'm like, oh gosh, like, yeah, that's fine, that's perfect shape. Like, and then I leave, I'm like, well, why didn't I tell her cut him down shorter? Like,
no, I've been
even that is
practicing
an area that like I need to practice in. So that's
Yeah.
just another good place. Or like, for example, at a restaurant, if you don't like your drink, send it back.
Yeah.
Like, I've started to be like, if I don't like this, like, I'm gonna send it back, and that's okay, because I'm paying for it. I am here,
like,
for
get what
me.
you want.
Yeah.
Like, wait, another example. I've been embodying this philosophy. Me and my roommates the other night ordered this, like, it's called Coco's, but it's called like a Cocoa Rush, but it's basically like a Dairy Queen Blizzard from this place that's called Coco's, and they always forget the hot fudge. And we like this, and we haven't ordered it in so long. We were like, let's order it. We always all get double hot fudge. So I was like, they bet. And
You
was
get
like,
double and they don't give you it?
yeah, they don't give it to me. I'm like, what the fuck's this about? So this past time that we ordered it, they were like, oh, I hope we get hot fudge. And I was like, I'm calling. Like, I'm literally calling this place to make sure they do it. So I called up this ice cream place and I was like, we all ordered double hot fudge. Can you please make sure that you put hot fudge on these ice creams? And like, we got it and there was hot fudge. And I was like, thank God. Like, removed the concern from our life and got what I want.
Yes.
But I just thought that was so funny, because I was like, we were all so scared to do it the past times, and I was like, no, F this, I'm calling.
Yeah, and like, you wouldn't have called them if you had already received it, because what are you gonna do, like make them run you over hot fudge?
Yeah, exactly. So
well, good, I'm glad that you got your hot fudge.
Yeah,
I could eat that right now.
Same, I could eat a bowl of
Everything
it right
in
now.
moderation. Balance.
Cookies for breakfast, steak for dinner.
So we hope you enjoyed this conversation with you, because that's what we're talking about, is conversations. But it was kind of a random topic, but it's one that we've been thinking about for like a couple weeks now. So happy that we finally, got it out there. I think it's very important to discuss and just bring to you guys. And as always, we hope you're having an amazing week, and just continue to work hard and show up for yourself in any way that feels good for you. And yeah, Isabel, let's see.
Before I tell you what to do, set a goal this week. Talk to 5 strangers, 1 a day, Monday through Friday.
Yes.
Can you do it?
Can you do it?
We'll see. Where will you be at the end of the week? Now I'm going to tell you what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, interact with us, please. We love you. You love us. Part of practicing this could be sending our podcast to another friend.
Yeah.
Maybe calling them and telling them why they should listen.
True. Oh my gosh. Have you subscribed to No Sugar on YouTube? No?
What
do
are
it.
you doing?
So
that's what you guys all should do.
And then if they are subscribed, you have a common ground, and then you can build off that. Boom. No Sugar is just the common ground for people. Anyway, we hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you next time.